It's tutorial time. I know I'm a bit later to the game today, but we're going to get there. I have my eyebrows done. I just thought it would be much quicker on using the Glossier Brow Flick in the shade Blonde today. I also put on the Sana Naturals Serum underneath my eyes this morning. I woke up and I just felt so puffy underneath my eyes and they're just so dry. So I have applied it, and seriously, like, it's like aromatherapy, and just the smell of it is just so nice. So these are 100% natural. I'm going to be talking all about them in the upcoming days, and there's going to be a giveaway. This product is included in the giveaway, and some other amazing products that I've already tried because Mother Marzipan is obsessed. Time to get down and dirty with my beauty bag. So I'm starting off with my eyelid because we're going to do eyes first as usual. And I'm just applying on some concealer here with a Sigma F61. The concealer I'm using is the MAC Select Coverup in the shade NW15. And today I'm going to set my base. Usually I don't set it, but today I'm going to set it. To set the base, we just want to make sure that none of the concealer is after creasing into our eyelid. So we're just going in there with the brush again just to smoothen everything out. I'm just grabbing my translucent powder and a fluffy brush. This is E25 by Sigma. And we're just going to pat down the powder, and that is literally setting the base. A lot of people would set their base all the time. Other people would never ever set the base and go in with eyeshadow straight away. There are many options. I find by setting the base, it's easier to blend eyeshadow, but it doesn't come out as pigmented. The eyeshadows don't come out as pigmented. Next, we're going to go into our Soft Glam Palette, which is the palette we're using all week. And we're going to go into the black shade. It's called Noir. We're going to create an exaggerated, very exaggerated cat wing. The brush that I'm using is this really wide, not extremely wide, but quite wide, dense brush. This is the 39P by Inglot Cosmetics. We're going to do what we did yesterday as the liner. We're going to stamp it along. We're going to do a quite dramatic. So keeping the eye, oh my god, it tickles, in a neutral state. We want to always direct the cat wing in the same direction as the tail of the brow. Don't worry if you have any gaps. We want to have a good wing when the eye is open. I have a pretty good exaggerated shape there now. So I'm just going to bring the end down to the very corner of my eye. And I'm just going to join that up like that. And you can see the little triangle forming here. We're just going to fill that in. And using eyeshadow first is great if you have no confidence. And it's going to help you kind of map out the shape that you want. And we're going to go in with some liquid liner then afterwards. So I just bring it really thin in towards the inner corner. I'm actually not going to worry about it too much because we'll be going in adding extra definition with the eyeliner afterwards. So see this little gap here? We're just going to close that up a tiny bit. And we kind of see how it looks perfect when my eyes are straight ahead. That just looks like a perfect cat wing. We're just going to close it off ever so. Next, we're going to start smoking out the liner. I'm going to go into the shade here called Sienna. It's a beautiful, extremely warm, rusty brown. And I am using an E32 Exact Blend brush by Sigma. And we're just going to start going over the shadow and blending those two shades together. And we're going to get that really lovely, smoky, warm brown effect. So I'm just going all along the edge. This could turn out really bad. We're just going to keep going. Gotta look cray before we slay. This could so easily turn out to be a really bad look. But we're going to keep going. Sometimes, majority of the time, I would have the intentions of creating a certain look in my head. And it mightn't turn out that way. So we're open to everything happening here. And if I make any mistakes, you're all along here with me. Not hiding nothing. Maybe I did bring that black shadow up a little bit too high, but you're feck it anyways. will get along with whatever eye makeup turns out on our eyes. Next, I'm going to go into the shade here called Orange Soda, and we're going to continue blending and hoping for the best. I don't think today is my day, people. We're going to keep on going anyways. And we're just going to blend. I'm going to bring that shade into the crease, I think. I'm just going to blend it all in. But Orange Soda is a fantastic shade for blending out all the colours on this palette. It's a beautiful transition shade and it's great for all those warm brown tones. So it's going to be like a gradient into a smoky liner. It's going to be fab. It's going to be beautiful. So just to kind of match up with this eye, I'm going to bring some of the sienna shade in here. I'm not going to be too worried about the edges, because what I'm going to do then is the brush that I used to set the base and go back in with that with no product on it. Like there's still some powder left on it. And we're just going to blur out the edges. And we're not going to worry about the underside either, because we're just going to wipe that away with some makeup remover and sharpen up that line. So during all that panic and chaos, we kind of lost the blackness here at the lash line. I've added it on here again. So I'm going to go back into that EP39 brush by Inglot. And we're just going to go all along the lash line, nice and gently, to bring that back in. Kind of blended it away. It's turning out fine. It's not exactly what I had in mind, but it's turning out fine. I'm going to grab my liquid liner. This is the YSL liquid liner, and I'm just going to stamp that all along the lash line to get even more saturation of the black, and just to make sure that it stays put. See the difference it makes? I'm actually going to go back in now with this brush, and we're just going to make sure it's smudged in with the black eyeshadow. Beautiful. We're going to leave the eyes. We're going to give them a break. Just going to grab my Joya eye makeup remover, give it a little shake. I'm just going to pour it on here to a wipe. Well, it's a reusable one. And we're just going to clean up the lines. Gonna get a lovely sharp line, and any fallout that fell out underneath as well, because we don't want that mixing in with our foundation. Next step is primer. I'm using the Maybelline Face Studio Prime, and this really fills in the pores. It really reminds me of the texture of Benefit Professional. So if you see this, it's a good one. Primer's on, we let it set in for a few minutes. I'm going to go in with the foundation I picked out for the week. This is the Dream Radiant Liquid Hydrating Foundation by Maybelline in the shade 04 Light Porcelain. I'm using my F88 brush from Sigma, which I absolutely love. It's a beautiful brush. It does all the work that you need. It does the work of a brush and a sponge together. So it gives you a most beautiful finish. This foundation is really nice. It gives you a beautiful glow. It's a medium, I'd say light to medium coverage. And it also has some lovely ingredients like collagen and hyaluronic acid. Foundation is on, and we're going to mark it up now. I want to do like a creamy contour base. So I'm using my Wet n Wild contour stick in the shade Call Me Maple, and I'm going to blend it out with my Sigma F04 brush. I haven't used a cream contour or bronzer with this foundation yet, and I thought it was just kind of resisting applying there because it is so like silk. This foundation is like silk on your skin, but it is blending out really, really nicely. So you can see I probably added a little bit too much, but it just blends in. And we'll do our trick where we use the foundation brush that we used to blend it out even more wherever we feel like we have too much cream contour, and it just gives you the perfect finish. I'm gonna do something a little bit weird now. Actually, I'm gonna do my under eye concealer first because we need to keep all the liquids done together before we ever do any powder. So with the same brush as before when we were applying the concealer, and this is great just to get right up to the sharp line, to sharpen it even further. Sharp like it's gonna cut you. Alright, this is something I usually wouldn't do, but I'm grabbing my translucent powder by Blend, and I'm gonna set my whole entire face. This is not the weird part. Like, what I'm gonna do is not weird. Like, I thought this was going to be a little bit weird for me, but it's not. I picked out very pinky toned blushes for this week, and I don't think they're going to go with this look. I was looking at the cream blush that I picked out, and I don't think it's like, I want more of a peachy blush. So without cheating or anything, because you know I pick out my products at the start of the week, I'm going to go into one of these eyeshadows that's on my eyes and use it as a blush. I had to have a break there to eat my dinner. I nearly choked on the potato. But we're losing light. I don't know what I'm going to do. We're losing light. I have a little ring light. I'm going to try and set and see. I feel like after setting my face there that I'm after losing that cream contour a little bit. So I'm just going to go into the Hoola bronzer and just further define the face. As I was saying before I went for dinner, I'm going to use maybe this shade from the palette. I'm just going to use the same brush. This is quite a big brush, and these shades are super pigmented. So I'm just going between these two shades, and we're just going to create a peachy kind of a blush as opposed to a pinky blush. And this is going to tie in better with the eye makeup look. We don't want the pink to clash too much with the eyes. So that's why we are using an eyeshadow for a blush. That's working out perfect. Exactly how I wanted. First time today. For highlighter, I'm going to go into Cookie. Absolutely love this stuff. Same brush. And we're just going to lash it on where we want to glow. That's all over basically, but focusing on the high points of the face, including the cheekbones, the tip of the nose, and around the sides here of my massive forehead, and everywhere. We're going to go into the waterline with a black pencil today. So I'm using my Sigma Wicked black pencil. It's just pure black. We're going to go onto the waterline, and we're also going to go up into the tight line. So the tight line is like your waterline on top, and this just makes sure that there's no gap between your lashes and your eyeball. So it's just like super saturated black. Next, I'm going to go back into the shade Sienna, and we're going to line the lower lash line with the E32 brush that we used before, giving it a finished effect. Otherwise it would be like too stark just to have the black in the waterline on its own. I'll probably come back to find an inner corner highlight soon. Next, it's time to set the face. I'm using the Revolution Pro Fix. So if you found that when you set your face all over with a powder and it looks too dry, use a setting spray and it will like melt it all in. Next, it's time for a lick of mascara on those lashes. So some people like to apply their false lashes first and then apply their mascara to join everything together, but I prefer to put my mascara on separately because I find that if you put mascara on your lashes, then they're not going to be as reusable as they could potentially be. And I like I'm cheap, like I like to use my lashes as much as possible. And this mascara is very good. It's not my favorite, but it's great because it doesn't smudge or flake, and it's quite waterproof as well, like but it doesn't wow me immediately. Like, say for example the Code Beautiful, when I first applied that, I was just immediately wowed. With this one, it's good but no immediate wow, but still really nice. It does the job. For inner corner highlight, I am going to spritz a brush. This is actually an inner corner shader by Sigma E46 it's called. I'm going to use the setting spray. And I'm going to go into this pigment. It's number 121 by Inglot Cosmetics. And we're going to do that inner corner little pop of sparkle. So pretty. Can you hear the donkey? I don't know if you can hear him, but he's gas. He's not ours. He lives across the street and he's so funny. If anyone ever walks past, I'll have to do a video of him. There's 2 of them. But if anyone ever walks past on the road, they're like off. They're so funny. I love them. I went ahead and I finished off the look. I put on Velvet Teddy lipstick and I put on some lashes. I'm so sorry about the light and the lack thereof. I need to get some lighting sorted so that I can not be restricted to daylight, and that everything will show up properly in some studio lighting, and we'll get that sorted ASAP. But I know this tutorial was a little bit of a disaster, but I hope you enjoyed it regardless. I'll probably take some pictures of the look and stuff in better lighting upstairs in the bathroom, and we'll see the little video afterwards. So let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for all your lovely messages so far saying that, you know, we're all human, we all make mistakes, and it's actually nice to see people making mistakes and seeing how they are rectified. It makes me feel better, so I'm glad you're appreciating my flaws. If you made it this far into the tutorial, thank you so much for staying here with me, and I'll be back on again tomorrow with another tutorial using the Soft Glam Palette.